Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Money Monday. My name's Henry. I am, as always, your friend in finance. Excited to be here with you. Give me one moment while I share this to my personal page. So that way everybody can get access to this. Today, we're going to be talking about a couple things that I think are fun and exciting. As many of you know, we had the COVID relief bill passed, and there's actually some implications for for your taxes in there. What are some of these implications to watch out for, and what should you do about it? Because I've been seeing a lot of stuff, a lot of confusion. There's a lot of confusion going on out there right now. But what do you do? Okay, so the COVID relief bill passed, and what's next? As always, if you have any questions, comment here, and I will see it. I got my screen popped up over here, so I'm going to see it, and I'll be able to answer. I'll answer any questions you have. And then at the end, we have a few announcements. I got a few fun announcements for you, and I'm also going to be using bringing back the Beanie Babies to explain a concept called velocity of money, how that could affect you. So yeah, let's start out talking about some of this the tax stuff that's going on. So you might have heard about this already. Part of the COVID relief bill is that says that if you had unemployment benefits last year, the first $10,200 of unemployment benefits are not going to be taxed. So it could be especially good for some families if some families took out unemployment and they didn't choose to have automatic withholding from their unemployment. That would I know a lot of families were worried about facing a potentially shocking tax bill. So that they're not that $10,200 of that money, the first $10,200 per person, is not going to be taxed anymore. So for married couples, that could be up to $20,400 in unemployment benefits. They're no longer going to be taxed. Not sure if you had heard about that. I've started seeing some things going around the internet, kind of explaining some of these things. There's still a lot of confusion about it, though, because one thing that accountants were telling people to do is wait until this bill is passed before you file a tax return. Because it made sense, the tax accountants typically knew, there's going to be something in there, and some of the tax laws are going to be changing mid-season. One of the things that I've seen happening is that the bill is already signed. The bill is already law. It's been signed into law by Biden, by Congress, by everybody. It's law now, and the IRS is incorporating it into their formulas and all that too. I'm seeing a lot of people still talking about, I'm going to hold off on filing, but the truth is you can file now. The bill is already law. There's nothing more to wait for. If you haven't filed, go ahead and do it. If you are worried about if you haven't started getting everything together yet, something else that actually has recently come out is that the deadline for individual tax returns has been extended to May 17th, if I remember right. It's in May now. So you have another month to get all of your tax documents together. So you don't have, you can take a moment to breathe. Something that a lot of people have been asking online too is, okay, so I actually filed my tax return, a month ago. What do I do? Because I had that unemployment thing, or I had, there's also like increased tax credits in the bill. So what do I do? Because the rules changed midstream. Do I file an amendment? And it's a very good question. And a lot of people, if you even know that you can amend your taxes, that's great knowledge to have. The IRS actually came out with guidance. They actually came out and said, hold off on filing an amendment just yet, because the IRS is going to see if there's a way that they can work on it on their end first. And that way, you don't have to put in all this extra work trying to file an amendment when they're just going to be able to do it automatically from their end. So if you've already filed taxes, hold off on filing an amendment until the IRS says, okay, now is the time. We can't actually do it from our end because they might be able to figure something out. There's huge supercomputers that can try to figure out a process to do this kind of thing. If you haven't filed taxes yet, watch out for some of these new tax breaks and tax credit. Again, there's an increased child tax credit on thanks to the COVID relief bill, especially for lower income families. So that if you have children, that's something that might benefit you. Also, if you took unemployment last year, you could benefit from this $10,200 per person that is no longer being taxed. Those first $10,200 per person that are no longer taxed in unemployment benefits. So those are some things that that have come out. I think it's just like the past week. I've been seeing a lot of people, a lot of posts about it. There's a lot of confusion, and I understand it's tax season. Taxes are always very, very stressful for people. So hopefully that helps provide some clarity for you of what you should do next. Go ahead and file. You can file now. If you feel behind, and the tax deadline has also been extended till May 17th. I should look that up right now, just so I'm not telling you. Tax deadline extended. Pretty sure it's May 17th. May 17th. I was absolutely right. Should have trusted myself. So those are a couple things to be on the lookout for. All of which for large percentage of Americans, this means that there's going to be just fewer taxes they have to pay this time around. So it could mean a larger refund for you. So definitely look into these things. Look into the unemployment tax credit and the child tax credit. Cool. So that's the main thing that I wanted to make sure that you benefited from, the main piece of knowledge, because I know there's still a lot of stuff lying around out there. As I learn more, I will also be sharing it on here. So that I want to make sure that you all know as much as possible. So keep an eye on this space, because I'm going to try to keep you up to date. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, just a couple fun things that we have coming up. We got this Thursday, we have our Chris Tanner, who couldn't be here tonight. He's going to be doing a webinar presentation on factor-based investing. One way that I like to explain this is if you're going into the stock market and just trying to pick stocks, it's basically it's a gamble, and the casino, the house always wins. So are stocks going to go up? Are they going to go down? Who knows? My dog is helping me tonight with this podcast. So if you're trying to go into the stocks to just pick individual stocks, it's always going to be a gamble, because there's all kinds of information that the individuals do not know. Are the stocks going to go up or down at any given moment? They could do one or it's 50-50. It could go either way, because the stock market is what we call an efficient market. So what can we do, and how can we actually make money if the stocks can go up or down, if it's seemingly random for an individual? The answer lies in something called factor-based investing. I'll be honest, when you look online, it's going to be a lot of the stuff is very confusing. Basically, what it is it boils down to using math and statistics to be able to find certain factors, certain characteristics of stocks that can increase your returns while decreasing your risk. So that's just the very brief layout. If that sounds amazing, it's because it is. There have been Nobel Prizes won by this. You're going to want to check this out. It's going to be Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be presented by our own Chris Tanner. We've done a presentation like this before, but so many people have, this is something that interests everybody, because everybody's looking for, how can I safely increase my wealth? This is going to help provide you with that method. So come check it out. We're calling it Investing with Style, Factor-Based Investing. You can find a link to it on our Facebook page. We would love to see you there. Besides that, I'm going to be continuing to do this every Monday, except for we're going to be starting up a service for our clients in April for providing a group coaching mastermind group that'll happen on Mondays. And because of that, on the second Monday of every month, I will not be presenting these Money Mondays. I will miss you all. I'm sure that you will miss me. I will be helping our clients achieve their goals. We'd love for you to join us. Come join us. It's going to be I'm so excited about this group coaching. because together we learn more. It's the concept of two heads are better than one. When we come together and are, going for a united purpose, we can achieve so much more than we can alone. And that's exactly the mindset that we have with these masterminds. So come join us. One other thing too is that if you because our plans are prorated from the beginning of the quarter, if you sign up between now and April, your upfront cost for our plans is actually going to be lower because your final subscription, your final date of renewal is going to be the end of the year. So come talk to me about that. Our current upfront prices are lower, and they're going to go up again once we hit April 1st. I don't want you to miss out on that. I know everybody that I've talked to has already gotten, just even in the past, in a couple of months, has gotten so much out of some of these plans. So I don't want you to miss out on that. Talk to me, comment, send us a message, whatever it takes. It's time for, this can be the moment that you take control of your financial future. So reach out to me. I would love to have that conversation with you. Besides that, the final thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is where the Beanie Babies are coming out, is this concept of velocity of money, which becomes important because of inflation and things like that, which there are, so far I've seen some experts say that we're expected to have increased inflation for a little bit towards the end of the year. What that's going to mean is increased prices for some things and some things and goods and services that you're used to buying might be a little bit more expensive than they were the year before. So for this, I'm going to use Beanie Babies. I'm actually going to back up a little bit because I'm going to try to juggle these bad boys. So the basic concept of velocity of money. Let's assume it's me and I'm in a room with other people. Let's say 4 other people. Money is there's only a certain amount of printed bills, right? So let's say it's divided evenly among all of us. We each have two Beanie Babies. These are currency now. We each have 2 Beanie Babies. There's only 8 because again, there's 4 of us total. So me and four of us, 8 total Beanie Babies. So that's all well and good. We're all, and at first, we're all very, it's that, we're very, it's mercantilism. We're don't spend any money, don't give any money to anybody else. We keep as much as possible. Have 2 Beanie Babies. But let's say we start spending some money. We all start spending money. So, I'm spending this, I'm letting it go, but it's also coming back to me because as I throw it to somebody else is throwing it back to me. So if there was a group of us, you would be able to see that, it'd be pretty easy to do that. Passing these Beanie Babies back and forth with each other. The end result is basically, I started out with 2. I'm spending 1, and it's coming back to me. So it's basically like juggling at any point in time, because as I spend 1. I always have 2 in hand. Man, this is going to be tough, especially because Lily's licking my foot. As I'm spending 1 and it's making its way back to me, somebody else has already bought something for me and given me money back. So, come on, I practiced this right beforehand. That might be as good as we get tonight. So the end result is that at any given point in time, I still only have 2 in my hand. And everybody, and the same goes for everybody else in this circle. We still only have 2 in our hand, but it's as if I had 3 Beanie Babies under my control because we're all spending money. So whereas before, if you think about it, 2 times 4 is 8. So before the total money supply was 8. When we start spending money and sending it back to each other, and it's like we each have 3, at that point, it's like the money supply has grown. So at that point, it's like we each have 3. 3 times 4 is 12, and that's how the money supply can increase without actually needing to print more bills. So one of the reasons that people think that we're going to experience inflation later this year is because of this concept called velocity of money, which, and again, inflation doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It's going to just be something to watch out for because you will notice prices getting more and more expensive. But it's as we're getting this stimulus check, a lot of people a lot of economists think we're going to turn around and we're going to start spending more of this money. The money supply is going to stay, even though the Fed is printing more money through different means, because of our spending and the way that we're going to be spending it, the money is going to just be moving around a lot more as we feel safer going out in public because of vaccines, and as we feel safer financially because now we have $1,400 more that we didn't have before. We're going to feel safer to spend that money on things we want or things we need. So that's increasing the velocity of money. That might be one of the factors that's going to play into the potential rise in inflation later this year. The one other thing before I do head out, the one other thing I just want to point out is that people have received their stimulus checks. You might see a lot of things online about like you should invest or you should do this. There's no real. It's really difficult to say like encompassing statements like that. There is no real should to do with the money. Everybody's in a different position, and to say what you specifically should do would take actual analysis and before you could know for a fact like this is something that I should do. As you're seeing, you're going to see a lot of posts. A lot of people are going to try to make a lot of headway in the news by going, oh, you can't. People are using the money wrong. Not necessarily. It all depends on your situation. If you're wondering how that money could best serve you, definitely reach out to me and we can talk through your situation together. Because everybody's different. It's like when you go to the doctor, everybody's body is different, so everybody's reacts different to different medicines and things like that, and doctors have to take that into account. That's the same with, think of us like financial doctors. We're, a financial advisor is here to craft a plan that's tailored for you and your situation. So come talk to me, send me a message if you're curious. There's definitely a lot that you can do with the stimulus check. I know some people are using that money to actually sign up with us, because then they're gaining knowledge that they can a much more distilled version of what I do here, much more customized to people's needs. That's what you get with one of our services. So, but everybody's different. So there's no real should. Ultimately, so just kind of watch out for when people say you should be doing this or you should be doing that. There's lots of options out there. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been a great 20 minutes. I look forward to this 20 minutes every week. And again, that's my dog. I think she wants to go out. She can be really pathetic. Thank you all again, and hope you guys have a good week. Bye.